Hi, it's Renee, and I wanted to make a video today and talk to you a little bit about essential oils, specifically Young Living essential oils. You probably have heard, just it seems like anytime you even mention a sniffle or a pain anymore, somebody's probably telling you, "Oh, have you heard of essential oils? That you can. I've got an oil for that." And I don't know, it probably sounds kind of crazy if you're not informed and you've never heard of essential oils before. And so that's what I want to do today in this video is just talk to you a little bit about what is an essential oil and how can they help you and how they've helped me. And so let's just go ahead and dive right in and get started. The first thing I do need to let you know is that I'm not a healthcare professional, not a doctor or a nurse. I'm just a mom who the way that I got started into the oils is my son was diagnosed with ADHD three years ago, almost 4 years ago, and we just had a really, really terrible time trying to find ways that we could help him because he was not able to tolerate any of the medications that we tried for him. And I was just at my wits' end because it seemed like every day I was getting a call from the school and Austin was in trouble and Austin won't sit still in class. And it's, if you, some of you are going to know exactly what I'm talking about here. It just can really, really wear you down. And so that is the reason I decided I wanted to try essential oils because I was at the point where I will try anything because we need help. Even if it sounded crazy, I was going to try it because we needed help. And so I have found help for him with the essential oils. So I'm just a mom who started using the oils and saw that they helped me and they helped my family. And like I said, I'm not a doctor or a nurse. I'm not going to try and diagnose or treat anything. And if you're under a doctor's supervision for a medical condition, just use common sense with anything that you hear me talk about today and discuss it with your doctor before you make any changes to your regimen. And certainly don't stop taking the medication and try to replace it with an oil without talking with your doctor. So, okay, now that we've covered that, let's just go ahead and move on and talk about what is an essential oil. An essential oil is essentially the lifeblood of a plant. And just like our blood in our bodies is responsible for sending oxygen, fighting infection, doing all kinds of things to take care of us on the inside. That is what essential oils do within a plant. And what's really cool about essential oils is that when you extract them properly from a plant in a way that they maintain all of their therapeutic benefits, you can have those same benefits yourself when you use the oils from the plant. So, what the oils do for the plant, they can also do for you. Um, Young Living essential oils actually contain millions and millions of molecules within one drop of oil, so they're very, very concentrated. And because the molecules are so tiny, when you apply the oils, even topically, they have the ability to go in through your skin, into your bloodstream, and penetrate you on a cellular level. Once you apply the oils topically, they're going to go into your bloodstream and have affected every cell in your body within about 20 minutes. But of course, they metabolize really quickly, and so they're going to be gone from your system within about 2 hours. So when you start using essential oils and you do a little research, you look up, you've got a sniffle or a headache, and there's an oil that you can use for that. As soon as you feel like you need that oil, go ahead and apply it. Apply it early and then reapply it often because it's going to metabolize very, very quickly. Okay, now let's talk about the different grades of essential oils because all oils are definitely not created equally. And this is something that I didn't know at first because you're going to see here in a minute that I actually did have some oils that I bought from another company before someone told me about Young Living, and there is a difference. And so we're going to talk about 4 different grades of essential oils. And the first is your synthetic oils, and these are oils that you're going to find like at a gas station or a gift shop or a roadside stand. They're going to smell really good, they're going to be cheap, but they're not going to have any healing properties or therapeutic value whatsoever. The next is going to be your extended or altered oils. And again, the same thing. They're manufactured in a lab and they're typically used in perfumes and they smell really good, but they also don't have any healing properties whatsoever. The next is where it gets a little tricky, and this is going to be your pure, natural, certified, or organic essential oils. And these oils likely have components that are added to them other than the oil that is extracted from the plant. And even though they say pure, natural, or organic on the label or something to that effect, you're going to be able to note some differences. I'll show you here in just a minute. They only have to have one component that's pure or natural or organic to be able to have that label. They're likely still going to have something in the bottle other than your essential oil. Now the next is going to be your therapeutic grade essential oils, which is what Young Living essential oils are. And Young Living is a company that produces essential oils, and they have been in business since 1994. Now, Young Living is the only essential oil company with its own farms, and Young Living essential oils are distilled from plants that are grown on these farms. Now, on these farms, they still weed their crops by hand. Young Living oversees the entire process of creating the oils from the time that the seed is planted into the ground until the time that the oil is put into the bottle. And they call this their seed to seal guarantee. It's a 5-step process which consists of seeding, cultivating, distilling, testing, and sealing. Seed to seal. And to guarantee that their quality is consistent and verifiable, not only do they test the oils in their own internal labs, but they also send them out to be tested by a third party. And I just think that that really speaks volumes for their commitment to quality and producing the very, very best essential oils that you can buy. And so that is personally why I choose Young Living. Now, there are 3 different ways that you can use essential oils. The first way is going to be topically, which is on your skin. Some oils you can put just directly onto your skin, straight out of the bottle. We call that applying it neat, N-E-A-T. Some oils are going to need to be diluted with a carrier oil, and that can be anything as simple as some coconut oil or some grapeseed oil or avocado, olive oil, any kind of organic oil that you have in your kitchen you can probably use as a carrier oil. Now there is a carrier oil called V6 that you can purchase from Young Living, and it is my favorite. It's not the one that I started using in the beginning because I have this huge old tub of coconut oil in my cabinet already, and I didn't want to spend any more money than I had already spent on my oils. So you certainly can just use whatever you have in your kitchen. You don't have to buy the V6, and I'm not going to talk a lot about it today, but it is an option. Now, another way that you can use your essential oils is to inhale or smell them. Just smelling the oil right out of the bottle, or putting a drop into your hand and cupping your hand and smelling the oil from your hand, or even like I have back here in my diffuser. Your sense of smell stimulates your limbic system, which is the part of your brain that's responsible for, it's involved in emotion, motivation, memory, and learning. And so just smelling essential oils can have a very powerful effect on your body. Now, the third way that we can use essential oils, and I would only recommend this for Young Living essential oils. I'll show you in just a minute the difference between Young Living and another brand that I have. You can actually use Young Living essential oils internally. You can ingest them. And the way you'll know if an oil is safe to ingest, because not all of the oils are safe to ingest. But if it says dietary supplement on the label, on the back of the bottle, then you know that that is an oil that you can ingest. So this lavender, I could take this internally. We'll talk about, you might wonder, why would you want to take lavender internally? Well, we'll talk about that in just a minute. Now, let's see. Now that we've talked about why Young Living essential oils are different, what makes them so special, and why I believe that they're just the absolute best oils that you can buy, let's talk about the Everyday Oils collection from Young Living. The first oil that I want to talk to you about is lemon. Lemon and any of the citrus oils actually are just very uplifting. And they help with anxiety and depression. This lemon oil just smells really, really clean. I just really love the way that this oil smells. Now, lemon oil is also great for fighting infection. You might wonder, you might be thinking, where is she getting all this information on her essential oil? So let me just backtrack for just a moment. This book right here, The Essential Oils Pocket Reference, you can get it from Life Science Publishing. I think it'll run you about $25.95, $29.95 plus shipping. Not real sure on the price. Life Science Publishing is where you get this book. 400 pages of information on Young Living essential oils. And this is where I get a lot of my information. Now, lemon oil, when I tell you that lemon oil can fight infection, you're thinking, well, how do you know this? Well, there was actually a French surgeon named Jean Valmet, I believe, who back around World War II, he started studying ways that essential oils can be used in the treatment of wounded soldiers. And what he found in his studies is that vaporized lemon oil can kill meningococcus bacteria in 15 minutes, typhoid within an hour, Staphylococcus aureus in 2 hours, and pneumococcus bacteria within 3 hours. And it says here that even a 0.2% solution of lemon oil can kill diphtheria bacteria in 20 minutes and can inactivate tuberculosis bacteria. So, there are even scientific studies that show that these oils are pretty powerful. This lemon oil can also be used in, it's really good for cough and sinus drainage. Now, I like to drink lemon oil in my water. And you'll notice here that I have it in a glass container. Well, the reason for that is that the citrus oils eat petrochemicals. I've got a styrofoam cup here that you might get from a, convenience store or Sonic, or I'm just going to drop a couple of drops of lemon oil in here, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen to this cup in just a few minutes. We'll sit this over here to the side and come back to it. And we'll move on real quickly to lavender. Lavender is, we call lavender the Swiss Army knife of oils because it has so many uses. You're probably familiar with lavender for, relaxation and sleep, and it does help with relaxation. I like to put it in my diffuser sometimes at night besides my bed, and it helps me sleep. It's also, oh my gosh, it is amazing for skin wounds, burns, especially burns. Oh my goodness, I like to sew, and so I've always got my iron on, and if I'm not ironing, I'm reaching around cutting fabric, sewing, and my iron's usually always on because I'm going to need to come back to it. Cannot tell you how many times I have bumped my arm on the iron and burned myself, and I actually have a pretty good burn up here that left a really nasty scar. I did not know about these essential oils when this burn happened, but a few weeks ago I actually burned my wrist right here. Burned it on an iron, and I started applying the lavender oil as soon as I burned it, and I'm telling you, it was instant relief from the burn. The pain and the stinging was gone, and then I just kept applying the lavender until it healed, and I don't even have a scar. You can't even tell where I burned myself, versus way up here on my arm I have a scar that kind of looks like a bruise. It's really ugly, but I don't wear sleeveless shirts anyway because I'm kind of self-conscious about my arms. But this oil is just amazing for anything to do with your skin, especially for burns. Another way that I like to use this, just real quickly, this is kind of a little vain, but there's a lady on our Young Living team who used to do Latisse, and lavender can help your hair grow. So I don't know who decided that we were going to try this, but we started putting 2 drops of lavender oil into a new tube of mascara and applying it daily, just like your normal makeup routine in the morning, and our lashes started to grow. And the lady on our team who has used Latisse in the past has said that it works just as well, if not better, than Latisse, and it's much, much less expensive. Also, lavender is a natural antihistamine. So what we also discovered when we started, trying to be, making our lashes grow, that our itchy, watery allergy eyes here in Texas, they were not, we didn't have our itchy, watery allergy eyes anymore. So that's another great benefit of lavender oil. Okay, the next one I have here is peppermint. Peppermint is great for colds and congestion. Really will help open up your sinuses. Um, Also, peppermint is an oil that is considered a hot oil, meaning you need to dilute it. If you've never used it on your skin before, dilute it. It says on the back of the bottle, 1 drop peppermint with 4 drops of V6, or grapeseed or coconut. Um, Basically, that's because it's going to tingle. Might even feel like it's burning a little on your skin if your skin's real sensitive. Now, I've used it neat by itself on my own skin because I was willing to, try and see if that was going to bother me, and it didn't. So another thing that peppermint is good for is when I have a headache, I will just take this peppermint oil and rub it right onto my temples. No carrier oil, just right on my temples, and then go across my forehead. I even put some on the back of my neck if I'm feeling a little tension in the back of my neck. Now, it's great for a run-of-the-mill headache. Within about 2 minutes, if you've got a headache, it's going to take it away. Now, I'm not talking about migraines because I am a chronic migraine sufferer, and if you don't have migraines, sometimes you use that term a little loosely, and you say you have a migraine when you really just have a really bad headache. There's a difference. If you have migraines, you know you have migraines. Peppermint might not be enough to kick it for you, but there are some other oils that can help, and I've used them and they've helped me. So we can talk about that. If you have migraines and peppermint's not kicking a headache pain for you, talk to me because there's probably some different oils that you can use. I've used them. Now, peppermint's also good for your stomach, indigestion. I use it for heartburn, massage it from my esophagus down to my belly button when I have reflux. It's highly, highly concentrated. It's really, really strong. 1 drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So if you're going to make a cup of peppermint tea with your peppermint oil, even 1 drop is going to be a lot. You might just, take your toothpick, stick it down in the hole of the bottle here, and then swirl your toothpick around in your tea, because I'm telling you, I've made peppermint tea and it's really strong. Now, peppermint is the oil that I was telling you about that I have bought in a different brand before I knew about Young Living. Now, let me show you some differences here between the peppermint that I got from my grocery store, which, this is, everything moves backwards. Okay, let me find out how to get this in front of the camera here where you can see it. This is some oil that I picked up from my grocery store, and you can see here on the bottle it says peppermint. 100% pure essential oil. Okay, well, the first thing you're going to notice that's different about this bottle of peppermint versus the bottle from Young Living is this bottle has a childproof cap. Childproof cap. Young Living, no childproof cap, just screws right off. This bottle, if you turn it over and read the label, it's going to say dilute properly, may irritate skin, which that's true. We just talked about that. You do need to dilute the peppermint if you've never used it on your skin before, because it could feel like it's burning. It says not for internal use and keep out of reach of children. Okay, if I had an herb garden out back and I was growing some peppermint, I could literally just go break a leaf off of that plant, stick it in my mouth, chew it, swallow it. It wouldn't hurt me. My kids could do that, wouldn't hurt them. We eat peppermint all the time. So you have to wonder, why can I not ingest this peppermint? You can ingest the Young Living peppermint. In fact, when my sinuses are really, really bothering me, I will just take this bottle of peppermint and turn it over on my thumb. hold that to the roof of my mouth. Oh, it is really, really strong. Wow. But you can instantly feel it opening up your sinuses too. So if you're congested, that's a great way to use the peppermint. Like I said, you can make peppermint tea with it. You just saw me put this oil in my mouth. It's not going to hurt me. It says on the back of the bottle, dietary supplement. Another thing you'll notice, this oil is clear. This peppermint oil kind of has a bluish green tint. You can see that around the stopper of the bottle. You notice I'm having a little trouble figuring out where to look too when I'm talking to you. This is really awkward. Everything is backwards when you're recording a video on a web camera, so just bear with me because this is a little different. But so that is there is clearly a difference between the Young Living essential oil, which you can take internally, and this oil here, which says that it's pure, but it's clearly not. It's a different color. It even smells different. It smells kind of sweet. This one just smells really fresh and clean. This one you can take internally. This one you can't. So you have to wonder. You got to ask yourself, what's in this oil that's not in this oil? Because if it was 100% pure peppermint, like I said, you could break the peppermint leaf off of the plant in your herb garden and eat it, and it wouldn't hurt you. So what's in here that you can't take it internally? So that's just something you got to ask yourself. Now, these three oils that we just talked about, the lemon, lavender, and peppermint. Again, trying to find my camera. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint. We call these three oils together the allergy trio. This is by far the best allergy remedy that I have tried. It's what I have going back here in my diffuser because it is springtime in Texas. Everything is starting to bloom. I live in the country and I'm looking out front at my at a tree in my front yard right outside my kitchen window. It's just full of blooms, and it's really jacked up our allergies. This trio, you can diffuse it. You can put it in a roller bottle and apply it topically. Got it here in my little allergy trio. And carry it with me everywhere I go. Roll it on my wrist, roll it on my lymph nodes. And then I'll just massage that in. And I'll also take it and rub it on the bridge of my nose and the tip of my nose so I can breathe it in. And it's just an amazing allergy remedy. You can even put it in a, I don't have one right here with me to show you, but you can buy empty gelatin or vegetable capsules at your health food store, and you can put these three oils in a capsule. Take them internally. You can also drop them into a tablespoon of honey, local honey, and take them internally. By far the best allergy remedy I've ever used. It's wonderful. So that is lemon, lavender, and peppermint, and the allergy trio. Now, let me go back and show you this styrofoam cup that I have. Whoop, it's falling over. Okay. I don't know if you can, yeah, there we go. I don't know if you can see, see inside the bottom of that cup there, where the lemon oil has just started eating through the plastic. Sorry, this cup was dirty. I dug it out of the trash just for this purpose, to show you what the lemon oil will do to styrofoam. Gosh, it's really hard to show you here. I don't know if you can see that. The lemon oil just ate a hole right through the styrofoam. So, you don't want to drink your lemon oil and water in styrofoam or a plastic bottle or a plastic cup. Even though plastic bottle, it may not eat a hole in your bottle, it is eating away at those chemicals, and you don't want to drink it. So if you're going to drink your lemon oils, put them in a glass bottle, or any of your citrus oils, put them in a glass bottle. And now they're also a great detox, because the way that you see it eating the petrochemicals here in the styrofoam cup, well, it'll do that inside your body too. It's going to go in and clean out all the nasty petrochemicals that you've accumulated in your digestive tract and whatnot, and it's just a really, really nice flush. Okay, so the next oil I want to talk about is frankincense. Now, if you've ever heard the story of baby Jesus, you've heard of frankincense, and in fact, it's mentioned. This oil is mentioned 81 times in the Bible. In ancient times, frankincense was valued more highly than gold, and it is still, it's one of the more expensive oils that Young Living has. Just has kind of a really earthy smell to it. Frankincense oil is good for skin issues. I have used it on my face. You know, sometimes I'm almost 38 years old, y'all, but I still struggle with acne. And I had, you know, sometimes you get the ones that come up under your skin and they're really painful, but you just can't do anything about them except wait for them to go away. Well, when I first got my oils and I had one come up, I just took some frankincense oil on the tip of my finger right straight out of the bottle and applied it on my chin where I had that, I guess you call it cystic acne. And within just a few hours, the swelling had gone down, and the swelling is what's pretty painful. So just within a few hours, that swelling was gone, and it healed up really, really quickly. Frankincense is also good for anxiety. Now, there are studies, and you can Google this. I'm not going to tell you that frankincense oil is going to cure your cancer, but there have been some really cool things that doctors that are studying cancer, they've seen some really cool things that frankincense has the ability to distinguish between normal, healthy cells and cancerous cells. And in some studies, they've even seen that the frankincense can suppress the viability of the cancer cells. Now, I am not telling you to go out and get you some frankincense because it's going to cure your cancer. That is not what I'm saying. Please don't misunderstand me. But doctors are researching and finding some really, really cool things regarding frankincense and cancer. And you can Google that, frankincense, cancer. And one of the doctors that is studying this is Dr. H.K. Lin. So Google it, do your own research, and come to your own conclusions. But I just thought that was really, really amazing and interesting to me. Now, the next oil is Stress Away. Oh, Stress Away. Hang on. Here we go. Stress Away. This is one that I carry with me all the time. That's why I forgot to put it out here this morning because it was in my bag that I carry in my purse. Stress Away smells amazing. It is a blend of copaiba, cedarwood, vanilla, ocotea, and lavender. And like the bottle says, it's great for reducing stress. I'll just rub it directly on my wrist. And then we'll take my wrist and maybe rub them up here on the neck. Smell it. It smells like a tropical island. So relaxing. It just helps evoke feelings of peace and tranquility. I just use it anytime that I'm feeling a little stressed or anxious. Now, it's not going to take away your stress. Those things that are stressing you out, it's not going to get rid of them. It's not going to take them away. Those things are still going to be there. It can just help your reaction to the stressors. It just helps me feel a little calmer. Some people use this to aid in lowering blood pressure. Now, again, I don't want you to stop taking your blood pressure medicine and think, oh, I can use the Stress Away oil in place and it's going to keep my blood pressure low. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're someone who finds that high stress situations tend to raise your blood pressure, then that's what I'm talking about here. It can help keep you relaxed and lower your blood pressure. I don't mean stop taking your medication if you're chronic, if you have chronic high blood pressure and you're being treated for that. That's not what I'm saying. If stress tends to elevate your blood pressure, this is an oil that can help with that. Next oil that I have here is Melaleuca alternifolia. Now, this is more commonly known as tea tree oil. Some of us call it Mel A because it's a really long name. It's a mouthful. And in the future, this bottle is even going to be labeled as tea tree oil, not Melaleuca alternifolia, because more people are familiar with tea tree oil and they'll know what this oil is by that name. Again, kind of an earthy smelling oil. This is another oil that's good for acne. It helps clean out bacteria and aid in healing. It's good for fungal infections. It's great for sinus infections. If you have a neti pot, you can take a drop of this oil and put it into your neti pot when you do your sinus rinse. and it's going to help clean out the bacteria in your nasal cavity when you have a sinus infection. It's also great for lice prevention. A lot of people will put this into their shampoo for that very reason. Um, and so that's another oil that is in your everyday oils collection. Now, I'm going to drip some out onto this bottle earlier. The next oil I'm going to talk to you about is one of my very, very favorite oils from the Premium Starter Kit, Purification. And this is a blend of lemongrass, citronella, melaleuca alternifolia, rosemary, lavender, and myrtle. And when I first got my kit and I first smelled this oil, I was like, okay, that's nice, but I don't know. And this just sat around for months after I had my kit because I was like, I don't really know what to do with this oil. Well, let me just tell you, this oil is fantastic for purifying the air. Like I told you earlier, I do have chronic migraines, and one of the things that will trigger me almost 100% of the time is smells from chemical cleaners. And I have a really hard time finding things that I can clean my house with that won't give me a migraine. And I really, really love the idea of Febreze. And I even buy it and spray it around the house on occasion, but then I pay for it later because it really, really hurts my head. I'll get a migraine. This oil, like I said, it's great for purifying the air. You can put it in your diffuser, or you can get you a spray bottle with some witch hazel or some water and some drops of purification oil and just spray it around like you would spray Febreze. It doesn't cover up odors. It actually cleans the odors out of your kids' smelly shoes, your dog's bed, anywhere that you would spray Febreze, you can spray this mixture. And it's just fantastic for purifying the air. And the smell has started to grow on me. I actually think it just smells wonderful now. Now, I also use this in my washing machine. You know, sometimes your loads of laundry, you might forget, surely I'm not the only person who's ever done this. You do a load of laundry, and you forget that you've done a load of laundry until you go to do another load of laundry, a day or two later, and the smell, and it's really hard to get that smell out. About 3 or 4 drops of this into the wash load with your detergent. It's going to get that moldy, musty smell out of your clothes. Sometimes over time your towels will start to have a funky smell. Put some purification in your detergent and run your normal wash load, and it's going to get that smell out of your towels as well. Now, this is good for cleaning out cuts and scrapes, but another reason I really, really love this oil is for insect bites. My kids will ask me for this. In the summertime, like I said, I live in Texas. We have bad problem with mosquitoes, and we spend a lot of time outside in the summertime. And I don't want to have to keep my kids inside when we'd rather be outside playing. And so if they get a mosquito bite, they instantly, Mommy, where's the purification? I need some purification. I have a bite. This will stop the itching almost instantly. It's great for insect bite. So the next oil I have here is Panaway. Now, the first thing you'll notice that's different, I don't know if you'll be able to see it so much in the video, but if you were here holding the bottles in your hands and could compare them, this oil does have a childproof cap. And the reason is this oil is a blend of wintergreen, peppermint, and helichrysum. And wintergreen is very, very similar in its chemical component or chemical makeup as aspirin. So you definitely don't want to get your child to get a hold of this and drink it. That would not be good. So it does have a childproof cap. And Panaway is great for pain. It's good for sore muscles, stiffness, bruising, joint pain. It reduces swelling and aching. I like to take the Panaway and put a few drops of it in some Epsom salt and throw that salt into my bath, a really hot bath. It's great for sore muscles. Just laying and soaking in that hot bath with the Panaway and the Epsom salt is amazing. You can apply this for a headache. You'll want to dilute it, of course, because it has peppermint. If you haven't tested your skin for sensitivity, it's great for back pain. Anywhere you have pain, this is just a really good oil to have on hand. Well, the next oil that I have here is called Thieves. And the bottle's a little beat up because I carry this with me a lot. Um, Thieves is a blend. You're probably thinking that's kind of a funny name. It's not a single oil, it's a blend of clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus, and rosemary. And the way that this oil gets its name is during the 15th century, around the time of the bubonic plague, there was a band of thieves that would go around into the villages and rob the homes and the bodies of the people who had died from the bubonic plague. And they didn't get sick. And it was a long time before they got caught. But when they finally were caught in exchange for a lesser sentence, they released the recipe for a blend of herbs and spices that they would rub their bodies down with before they went into the village. And this is what kept them from getting sick. And so this is where we get this oil blend, and this is why we call it Thieves. Now, Thieves oil is highly antiviral, antiseptic, antibacterial. There was even a study done at Weber University, again, it's documented in this book, that when you diffuse Thieves into the air, within, I think it's 15 minutes, I believe it's within 15 minutes, this oil will kill 99.96% of airborne bacteria. There are even hospitals that are diffusing this in the hospital because it's been scientifically proven that it does kill bacteria. I will take this oil, especially when there's, stomach bugs, strep, whatever going around at school. We'll take this oil and rub it on our spines or on the bottoms of our feet to just prevent and ward off illness. Thieves has also been shown to kill black mold. And honestly, I just think this oil smells really, really good. So in the wintertime, it smells like fall, really cinnamony. So in the fall and the wintertime, this is constantly going in my diffuser because I don't want to get sick. I don't want my kids to get sick. There are even teachers that are using this in the classrooms now. And a funny story about this is there is a lady who's a teacher who was using the Thieves in her diffuser in her classroom. She had really good intentions. She was just trying to keep herself and her students well. However, her classroom is right next door to the science lab. And diffusing the Thieves oil in her classroom, which was right next door to the science lab, she wasn't even in the science lab, just next door to it, killed the specimens in the petri dishes. So it ruined the science experiment for the other teacher, which, funny, not funny, I don't know, you decide. I think it's pretty cool. I'm sorry that it, messed up her lesson plan for the day, but it just goes to show you, the power of this oil. So yeah, we diffuse this all the time during the fall and winter, and we put it on our bodies before I send my kids to school or before we go out. Okay. So the last oil that I have here is Citrus Fresh. And Citrus Fresh is a blend of orange, tangerine, lemon, mandarin, grapefruit, and spearmint. And when you diffuse this, this also works well as an air purifier, just like the purification that we talked about earlier. This one, it smells so, so good. I've heard people call this sunshine in a bottle. And I mean, if you could smell sunshine in a bottle, I'm pretty sure this is what it would smell like. It's just a really fresh, clean, happy smelling oil. It helps with anxiety, helps with concentration, irritability, because it just makes you feel happy when you smell it. It can help with insomnia and also your mental accuracy. I diffuse this at my desk a lot when I'm working, and sometimes you just would rather be doing anything other than, being stuck at your desk, crunching numbers, and so I will diffuse this at my desk just to keep me alert, focused, and on task. And like I said, this is citrus oil, so it's just very, very uplifting and clean smelling. Okay, now I said that the Citrus Fresh was the last oil. I forgot one. I forgot. There is one last oil that comes in the Everyday Oils collection, and that oil is Joy. Joy is a blend of bergamot, ylang-ylang, geranium, rosewood, lemon, mandarin, jasmine, Roman chamomile, palmarosa, and rose. So as you can probably imagine from that long list, this is going to be a really florally smelling oil. And I will be honest with you, when I first got my kit, this was not my favorite oil. This is one that you either love it or hate it right off the bat. But many people, including myself, who hate it the first time they smell it, will end up falling in love with it. Because it's just great it's a very uplifting oil. It invokes feelings of happiness. If I'm feeling a little down, I'll just take some joy on the tip of my finger, apply it right over my heart. And it's really hard to explain, but it just makes you feel a little happier, a little more joyful. You hear my niece in the background. She woke up before I finished. So again, joy. That'll be the last oil that comes in the Everyday Starter Kit. These oils that I've talked to you about today, all 11 oils that I have here behind me, is part of, can you see all of them? There we go. It's the Young Living Everyday Oils collection. It's the 11 most popular oils that Young Living sells. So, now you might be thinking, well, so how can I get my hands on some of these Young Living essential oils? I want to try them. I think, they could help me. Well, these 11 oils here, plus the home diffuser, if you were to buy all of these things separately, it's gonna actually, if you paid retail cost, it's gonna cost you around $300 to $400. However, if you purchase a premium starter kit, which is how you can get enrolled with Young Living as a wholesale member, you can get all 11 oils that we've just talked about today, plus the home diffuser, plus some samples to share with your friends and some literature about the oils. You can get all of this together for $150. That is a huge savings because this diffuser alone retails for $98. And you're going to get all these 11 oils. Now they will come in this 5 ml size, the smaller size here. You'll notice that some of my bottles are bigger, and that's because I've had to reorder because I use my oils a lot. And many of the oils, when you reorder them, will come in this larger bottle, which is a 15 ml. But you're going to get a 5 milliliter size of each of these 11 oils plus your diffuser for $150 plus tax and shipping. Now, that means you're now also a wholesale member with Young Living, and that means anytime you need to reorder, you're going to save 24% off of retail. You don't have to purchase every month. There's no minimum, nothing. You don't ever even have to buy any oils ever again. There's no strings attached whatsoever. But if you decide to, reorder later, you're going to get 24% off. And you've already saved a ton of money versus buying them individually at retail. So, this is Young Living Premium Starter Kit. And if you have any questions, just shoot me a message, email me, find me on Facebook. I would be happy to help you. If you've been referred to this video by a member of my team just to get some more information on the oils, then you can get in contact with that person or contact me and let me know who that person is, because I will make sure that when you're enrolled, that's the person who receives the credit for your enrollment. So, again, if you have any questions, just holler at me. I'm here to help, and I hope that I've helped you out today in explaining to you about essential oils and why I love Young Living. Thanks.